So your 4 boys squads moving on to next week: Miracosta, Oaks Christian, J. Sarah, and Long Beach Wilson. Those are the 4 boys that will move on to next week's California State Championships.
It's something cracking at UCLA. Let me know.
And so that moves Miracosta's boys into the top 10 in the country there with that 4x800 performance there, up to California number 3. So on the track here, we have our 3,200 meters. 18 girls all assembled here. Top 6 will automatically move on. The time to watch for, though, 10:30.96. 10:30.96 being your at-large standard for qualifying. So here we go, Rylee Blade, your early leader, your 2-time Division I state meet finalist, Division I champion. And Summer Wilson, she was your Division II champion a week ago. She also qualified for the California State meet last year, as did Abigail Arrington of South Pasadena in the orange. That's Holly Barker on her outside shoulder, and Blade taking that group through at 77.
Goals, 4 by in third place, CIF-Southern. Second place, Oaks Christian. Once again, third place, CIF-Southern. Second place, Oaks Christian. And the winner, Moorpark, winning time with the time of 7:37.84. Once again, third place, CIF-Southern. Second place, Oaks Christian. And the winners, 7:37.84.
And so back to the track here, Summer Wilson now taking over pacing chores here through the first 2 laps. They're going to come through right at 2:36. So it's Wilson right now. That's Blade in second. Wilson last year, he was your Division II champ a week ago, 10:16.90 seasonal best. Incredible last 200 meters you saw. A very veteran group here. That's Barker going off to Colorado. Abigail Arrington, she was your Division III champ last week. She'll be off to Princeton in the fall. She's right there in 4th place. But everybody in it right now, pretty conservative pace there. Girls got to watch out for that, because if you're not in that top 6, you got to be under 10:30, and that's where pacing really comes into play here. Megan Crum of Temescal Canyon, she went 10:21 at the Mount Sac Relays about last month. She's currently in now 3rd place. Amber Daisy of Tesoro. Hopkins of Arcadia, Erica Kirk coming off a lifetime best of 10:33. Maya DeBrouwer, she already made it in the 1,600 meters. She's also in that top 10. They come through right there about 3:54. And Blade resuming up front there, 3:55. So that was 79 on that last lap. So we're starting to get into dangerous territory here. We want to stay right there about 77 to 79, and probably our slowest lap we want to actually put out there. Again, we want to get more than 6 girls to qualify. De La Rionda of Thousand Oaks in the back of that front pack. Now Ruiz of Ontario tucked in right there, along with Avina of Murrieta Valley. Ariel Avina, this is their 3rd time making the Masters meet. So everybody in it, that's the key. There's going to be somebody making big moves on laps 6 and 7. You just got to hook on and go for the ride. So these girls want to come through right around 5:15 and then try to bring it home with negative splits. Of course, Rylee Blade, she went 9:58 a couple weeks ago. Holly Barker, she was your Division I champion last week. Very impressive, 10:07.93. And they come through right about 5:15, 5:16. So that whole group right there. But now we're going to need to go negative splits because there's obviously more than 6 girls in that group. Got 12 all together. De La Rionda of Thousand Oaks in the back of that pack. That's DeBrouwer right in front of her, and she's right there on the heels of Ruiz of Ontario. Hopkins, Charlotte Hopkins of Arcadia, really coming into her own here. 10:07.97 at the Arcadia Invite earlier this year. So we have 6 girls that come in with sub 10:30 credentials. That's going to be that standard. So we're going to need to see some PRs coming down. We're going to see more than 6 qualify on to next Saturday's state meet. Be no prelims for the 3,200 meters. So it's Blade, Barker, Arrington, Wilson, Hopkins, and Kirk. Those are your top 6 right now, with Crum and now DeBrouwer starting to move up. And they come through at 6:32. That was a 77. But everybody else coming big right there, about 79 splits there, 77. Everybody kind of staying right there. Again, we want to stay sub 79 the whole way through. But now things starting to really pick up here. Rylee Blade, she dropped the 16 so she could focus on the 32 here. And Barker, 2-time state meet finalist herself in the 3,200 meters. So these two battled last week, actually last 2 years here. Blade getting the championship, the D1 title in 23. Barker getting the D1 championship last week. And now moving it up. 748, but you got to keep your eyes now on those other spots. That was 76. So with about 600 meters to go for Blade, she'll be out off to Florida State in the fall. And Hopkins staying right there on the inside of Wilson of Irvine. And now taking into that 6th spot right there, that is DeBrouwer of La Cañada with Kirk and Crum. Vista, Murrieta, and Temescal in those 7th and 8th spots. So right now, those top 8 girls got to start eyeing that standard and try to get under 10:30.96. Ruiz of Ontario trying to get up with that front group. And here comes McCullough of Newport Harbor with a strong finish. Blade looking as smooth as she usually does here. She'll be coming through with 1 lap to go at 9:01. That was a 73. So that was her fastest lap yet for Miss Blade. But all eyes on those final 6 spots. Kirk and Crum need to come back home fast here to get under 10:30.96. State meet on the line with 350 meters to go. So Blade, Barker, the seniors up front. Wilson, the junior. Arrington, senior. Hopkins, a junior. Those are 5, top 5. DeBrouwer in 6th. Here comes Crum and Kirk. And there's Summer Wilson there in 3rd place. She kicked down a 33 last 200 a week ago. But Rylee Blade, she deserves all the headlines right here in this 3,200 meters. And she's going to be your Southern Section champion. That fight for 6th place to Brower and Crum. 10:30.96 is the standard. We're at 10:20. So Hopkins, Wilson, Arrington, they will automatically qualify. Crum will make it. DeBrouwer will make it. So 70 seconds on that last lap. So Rylee Blade, she went 5:15, 4:56 splits there. Very impressive. Holly Barker, she went 5:15, 5:03 splits. Summer Wilson, 10:21.90. Wapka Hopkins, 10:23.22. Arrington, 10:23.58. Crum, 10:29.46. And DeBrouwer, she gets that at-large standard there at 10:30.01. Erica Kirk at 10:31.98. Lifetime best there. Isabella Ruiz continue to improve there. 10:36.77, a lifetime best. Marley McCullough, 10:36.88. Saeed Byrne of South Pasadena, 10:44.38. Maggie De La Rionda, 10:45.03.